Imagine saying that. And halfway through spring, 0-9, and now we look at halfway through summer, halfway through that split. BDS have actually kind of gotten close to that mark. Then Astralis are at this moment. BDS looking to try and at least gain some confidence. It does feel like that playoffs run is so difficult to get to. But Astralis, you know, they did take a couple of hard losses recently as well. Potentially an opening.
Well, on to those bans, particularly a lot of Flavor of the Month ones. You can see the Yuumi and the Poppy, the Seraphine, Gwen, all those really strong picks on the current patch taken off the table. It does mean a first pick Zeri, though, for Kobbe, this AD carry that we've just been hearing so much about. Curse. A phenomenal monologue by Goldborg. See whether he can pull a shots, though. Is the curse real? Find out after this game, eh?
On the other side, we have a pick which was picked up in the last game by BDS. They had the Aphelios. It was an Aphelios Lulu lane which they had, which was actually a little bit of a different take for BDS. BDS were trying to put a little bit more pressure in the 2v2, look for a little more firepower. They were typically going towards stuff like the Ezreal, Misfortune, even a Seraphine game in there alongside their Senna game as well. But having something like the Aphelios, it means that they do want to put more resources down to this bot lane, and that's something which they haven't really done so far.
Absolutely. And while Astralis' early game has been a little lackluster, I think it's fair to say, picking up something like the Wukong here, despite some of those nerfs, to try and make some of those early aggressive plays and be a team fight engage option definitely plays into how the side of Astralis like to play those mid games.
Okay, of course, now, just a reminder, this is patch 12.13. It's on the bottom of the screen. It does mean that a couple of our champions have been hit. Wukong was hit, of course, in the last couple of patches. Still going to be locked in. And with the Gangplank, this is very typical for Astralis too. They love to start impacting those team fights. Hit 2-3 items, turtle up to that point, and then take it to the 5v5s. BDS on the other side, they've typically had a bit more strength in the early game when they have been strong. It's not really been seen for the last couple of weeks, but with something like that Xin Zhao, you can see how potentially Synchro, and if Nuclear has a pick to help him alongside that, maybe they can start getting things going early so Astralis don't get to that strength of the late game team fight.
We are kind of waiting to see after this second phase of bans what support and mid laners are going for, and I'm kind of curious what you'd rather see be the blind pick option here.
So obviously we've seen a lot of Silas's come out recently. I actually wonder for a team like BDS whether they would like to try their hands at that again. You can see that Nuclear has actually had 2 games on it so far, and the whole league has been pulling at this pick. Look at the likes of Certus and SK had a couple of awesome games on, or at least Genox had a game on it too, but see other teams pulling it out to great effect. I think that something like a Silas could, again, fit the team composition of BDS to try and stop Astralis from surviving through to that mid game. Silas has the early punch, have a couple of the picks in the pocket too, which can help with that.
BDS have decided to focus down Jonghoot's pool a little bit. Of course, had a pretty phenomenal Braum game yesterday. Nearly pulled out some very clutch defenses against G2 Esports, even if they did lose that one just about in the end.
Bit of smoke and mirrors happened in that one.
It was indeed. And on the other side, very much focusing towards those roaming mid laners that can attack the side lane. So the Lissandra and the Talia off the table for Nuclear Int. And now to see what BDS will decide to blind pick.
Of course, again, looking for proactivity out of mid lane. I do think that's what BDS would fit their strengths and potentially stop Astralis from getting towards theirs as well. I'll have to see whether they agree with us, though. Something that they showed a lot through the year. Of course, they do have a couple of picks.
The brothers, we barely agree with each other, so I'm not sure that's ever going to work. It will be
at least Nuclear agrees with me. You know, I had a read on that one. And now suddenly you have stolen Cannon Barrage, plundered Cannon Barrage, might I say. Let's keep it thematic.
I'll keep that one.
I don't know what we can really call like the stolen Wukong ultimate, but either way.
Twister instead of Cyclone. Something like that. Just find another way to talk about spinning whirlwinds.
But either way, again, it really is a strong mid-jungle from BDS, which can help so far. And you know what? Dayor was pretty much the only Vex player in Spring from the LEC that really stuck to their guns, pulling it out again. And that is actually a very good early matchup in Silas, particularly at level 1. That's one of Vex's power points. Maybe Astralis can stick together in that mid-jungle 2v2, which BDS have thrown them the challenge in.
Well, Kobbe's legendary Xayah won't be, of course, coming through because of the Zeri, but the Rakan is in for Jonghoon, so half of that Lovers duo locked in for the bot side. Odote thinking about something wild like a Zillion, but of course it is a hover. It's always dangerous to talk about. So we'll see what it actually will be. But there it's actually locked in.
Right.
There you go.
So, you now have some ability to speed your friends into the fray. I think seeing the Zarya and the Rakan, you look at your Aphelios, you think, actually, you don't really need support matchup to help you through the laning phase. I think if it was that point where you're looking at a stronger lane, you have to pick in something like a Lulu. But with that, they say, let's go towards that mid-late game, give us some more ability to mid-game skirmish.
Indeed, and honestly, after yesterday when it was, let's dive the bot side and make it a bit of a hellscape, having the Zillion ult to try and reset some of that might make some sense here. of course, you know, on the other side for Astralis, they've got a lot of tools to make Kobe and Deo very dangerous in this game.
And of course, Kobe already talked about them before. What a carry they have been for this resurgence.
Keep your eyes on Deo and Xerxes, though.
Yeah, they got the mid-pro again. Silence cannot respond. Aggressivo cannot respond. That means that, though there are no kills, Astralis force off the tower.
Xerxes got a Warrior Trickster and a Cyclone! Inclement weather incoming! But what category is it? Just a category 3 for now, and no one is washed away.
Category 0 kills. Can't see anything more off of that. Nuclear Ant has finally found their way to the party. You don't have any tools now. What can you do, Astralis?
Comes lightning and the weather turns around. First blood to Nuclear Ant Silas.
He's going to keep looking for something. When's that next?
Something being through this mid jungle. And the jungle is here at least to try and punish Astralis. Goes in with the wind, becomes lightning. And the audacious charge gets a flash. And a Kobe into the Crescent Guard. Can't quite secure the kill after a fantastic round end. Flash will not make him escape the Chakram, secure the life of the Rakan. But at least the AD carry survives for now.
Hop over into safety. Does blow that ultimate. And again, you can see that BDS are really trying to shut this Zeri out of the game. Oh, Matty.
Oh dear, he is dead, deceased, pushing up the daisies. Gone to meet his maker, he is an ex-Matty.
He's pining for the fountains. He is, and this is so sad.
Problem is they are down 3 critical ultimates, and that could be punishing. Jonghoon will get the knock-up and dance his way out of danger. Aggressivo with Meganar, hops in, gets Jonghoon stopwatch and mistimes, and there into the wall, over the wall. Jonghoon being chased down though with the Deutsche charge. What can Dale do afterwards against the fear? But I don't think it'll be quite enough. The personal space not going to keep them alive. Xerxes' clone is jumped up, but not the monkey himself. Gets a Cyclone off, and now Nuclear in with the stolen cannon barrage. Plundered, rather. Managed to get his way out of danger.
Looking for something on the side, but BDS, it's hard for. It's not exactly clean, but it does get them the 2 early dragons. Now, they are still behind a little bit in gold, and Maddie might be in danger. Does have the flash. We'll probably have to use it.
Jonghoon's got quickness back up again, but this time has cleanse, and the barrel crits Matty down to about a third, but nothing more. Now, Chachi in danger. Flashed away, but abscond, an abduct, and a dead pirate.
BDS willing to throw some punches.
Oh my days, Nuclear in. About a pixel, a team away from connecting on the Rakan 12.
I mean, the
player under the name of Magna.
That is a blast from my show. But see if you can channel into Divinity in this one.
Absolutely, looking a little bit dangerous over Synchron. Does try and survive with the Crescent Guard, but not for much longer. Kobe with even more gold to his name.
That started to look, again, more and more dangerous. Astralis, they're getting to the point where they can group up, and that is where their strengths have been in summer. The charge on that one. Seriously looking to see what's happening with this mid.
Oh, the barrel from Chachi. That's some veterancy. Not going to matter too much right now. They're going to try and survive anyway. And Jonghoon goes in, kills off Synchron, and the fight continues. Meganar is going to be around as well, but who even cares? As everyone melts, and Astralis by mid-game team fights. And it's a complete ace aside from Maddie.
They find the way to group. They come to the mid lane. You see that Aphelios farming again, and they say, yeah, the vision control of Astralis allow them to make plays
double
like this.
TP, and Matty is sandwiched between a rock and a Vex place. Nowhere to go, a missed ball, plus a barrel. Sticks him in the dirt, 2 foot wide, 6 foot deep.
He's stuck him in. He's on vision, which is
the Warper Vision might just have been one hit by BDS. They're going to land the Binding Eclipse courtesy of that Graviton gun. But he's going to get out of danger now. Aggressivo being punished on the other side. It was all a bait, all a ruse. And the Gnar is down. Chachi on a killing spree. And the inhibitor turret soon to fall afterwards.
And Astralis taking a couple of notes maybe from their previous game. Got a side lane to death versus G2. And Astralis pick up a couple of tricks, send a couple of people hidden down to that bot lane, and they break the base without even having to go towards that Baron. They don't go for the flip. They take 2 inhibitors, and they're out clean.
All eyes on Baron meant they weren't paying attention to the bot side. They slip in, they murder the Gnar, and they get 2 inhibitors to boot. Smooth play for Astralis, and maybe an even smoother turnaround. Synchron left out to dry. Nothing to be done as Vizicsacsi starts landing nuclear warheads instead of barrels. That will be game. There is nothing more to be done. Only Odote survives the battle.
It is almost a clean ace. Only Odote survives the oncoming exterminatus from Astralis, but this game is effectively done. Teleport's calling in. Drop him from orbit. Astralis looking to go 5 and 6.
BDS competed in the early game, but the mid-game collapse seemingly foretold. And Astralis will clean up this game in smooth, swift fashion.
Let's see for one last charge.
A brave, valiant attempt, but it is just a firing of the 21. Boulder salute for the Gnar to celebrate and mourn the passing of his team. Astralis with the victory.
And you know what? That's about as typical as it does get from Astralis. They had that again. Maybe a couple of shakes